The footage shows no chaos or screaming people in the scene. There is only a long crack stretching quietly across the dry California ground. This silence feels unsettling because it does not match normal earthquake patterns. Scientists are worried because the fracture does not resemble typical San Andreas activity. People think danger appears only when the ground shakes violently during earthquakes. But this quiet crack forces us to rethink what safety really means today. This is not just a story about a distant fault line in California. It is a story of cities and homes built on land once considered stable. What the camera captured is not the end but the start of something new. It is quieter, slower, and far harder to predict with confidence or certainty. The real question is what price we are already paying before collapse. Let us take a closer look at what this strange silence may mean. The fracture on the dry soil is more than a sign of hot weather. It is a rare scar from a locked section of the southern San Andreas. This is the most dangerous part of the entire long fault system here. The Pacific and North American plates grind slowly against each other daily. They build tension like a spring pushed close to its breaking point. The last major release of this southern segment was in the year 1857. That earthquake was almost magnitude 8 and changed the ground for miles. More than 150 years have passed with no major release. This long period of silence is what concerns scientists the most today. It is too calm and feels like a system near the edge of failure. GPS and satellite data show the land still moves a few millimeters yearly. But unlike other fault sections, this one does not slip smoothly at all. It stays locked and allows dangerous energy to build deep underground. Experts warn that a future release could exceed modern design standards easily. Millions of people live directly above this stressed and silent fault zone. Los Angeles sits only a few dozen miles from the main rupture line. The Coachella Valley and Mojave areas have grown into busy communities now. Homes, resorts, and shopping centers rise on land marked highly sensitive. The problem is not lack of information but too much comfort with risk. Warnings have existed for decades but people ignore them over a long time. Because disaster did not strike this generation, it feels less threatening. Schools open, roads expand, and neighborhoods grow beside the fault line. People assume modern buildings and technology will protect them from harm. Small warning signs appear like tiny cracks and slight shaking sometimes. Most people dismiss these signals as normal parts of daily city life. A false sense of safety grows as risk becomes just another routine idea. Families continue life peacefully while pressure grows beneath their feet. Some keep emergency bags ready, but most ignore the rising quiet danger. This calm creates a space where fear fades and habits shape decisions. People start believing they can live safely beside a powerful moving fault. In this space, a new idea begins to form in public thinking. If people cannot leave, then they must learn to manage the danger carefully. Technology, engineering, and planning become new tools to control the risk. Earthquake-resistant standards are tightened to make buildings bend safely. Foundations are redesigned so they can spread shaking energy more evenly. Bridges, hospitals, and schools are reinforced to survive strong early shaking. Early warning systems promise a few seconds to stop trains or cut power. New planning maps introduce buffer zones and controlled development areas. Neighborhoods near Mojave and Coachella claim they are fully quake-ready now. Real estate ads replace fear with confidence in modern engineering methods. Media coverage shifts from danger toward themes of strength and preparation. Community drills and safety classes create the feeling of complete control. Three-dimensional models show buildings swaying gently during big earthquakes. Insurance companies turn danger into charts, numbers, and higher premiums. Phrases like seismic resilience and adaptive design appear in new reports. The fault becomes a measured variable, not an unpredictable deadly threat. Public psychology changes from fear toward routine over many passing years. Tremor alerts become normal and drills happen as yearly community events. Danger becomes part of branding for strong modern and dynamic city planning. Confidence grows and people feel nature can be managed with proper design. If it can be predicted or shaped, then it feels safe and acceptable. Risk becomes a normal part of progress instead of a frightening unknown. Still, a quiet question remains beneath the growing confidence of society. Does building stronger systems truly mean people understand the real threat? Stronger systems may reduce disaster risk but also create dangerous human comfort. We trust alerts, but they give only seconds before unpredictable Earth movements arrive. People believe they can live safely in danger zones because of modern technology. But the ground follows its own rhythm and listens to no human plans. Faith begins to crack slowly through small signs many people ignore every day. Warning systems and building codes create confidence that everything is controlled. But first changes appear deep in the soil where pressure starts shifting unusually. Some southern San Andreas areas show uneven sinking and long cracks in fresh roads. These early changes are not disasters, but they worry engineers studying the ground. Reports show pressure moving differently and geological layers behaving unpredictably. Some zones now hold more stress while others deform in strange, unexpected ways. Simulations fail because the ground begins shifting in new, irregular, unpredictable cycles. Meanwhile, buildings built for safety attract more people into high-risk regions daily. Population grows because strong structures create a false feeling of total safety. New schools, hospitals, shops, and industries expand even while pressure increases underground. Moderate quakes happen and buildings survive, so people think the system always works. But every successful moment increases dangerous confidence that nature is fully controlled. Groundwater near some regions also changes patterns, creating strange rising fluctuations. Agricultural zones near the Mojave face salinity and declining soil quality today. Maintenance costs grow quickly and foundations need more reinforcement than earlier expected. These effects grow slowly but form a long chain of new hidden risks forming. The earthquake has not arrived, but the cost of preparation already affects households. Insurance bills rise and construction expenses increase, creating pressure on residents daily. Experts begin questioning whether safety systems are real protection or only delays. If the ground behaves differently than predicted, then models may not capture reality. Reinforced structures might only delay a larger impact waiting somewhere in the future. Doubt spreads quietly in expert meetings and updated reports use cautious technical language. But the public sees nothing and life continues as if no change exists. Small fractures slowly spread into visible issues affecting daily life and local nature. Soil near the Mojave becomes weaker, losing water faster, and vegetation begins dying. Bare patches appear more often and ecological buffers lose strength and recovery ability. Road maintenance increases and many structures last fewer years than originally planned. Earthquake insurance increases, so families in Coachella Valley reconsider long-term living. Small businesses leave the area, reducing stability and weakening local commercial activity. Minor quakes cause pipe failures and power outages, increasing constant everyday stress. People stay alert but unsure which danger may eventually strike their community. Invasive plants spread easily and replace native vegetation weakened by soil changes here. High insurance pushes low-cost housing into riskier zones where danger is highest. Reinforcing buildings adds weight that sends more stress into unstable ground beneath structures. Protection methods begin revealing dark sides, creating new problems that were unexpected. Heavier reinforcement increases cost and disrupts natural underground force movement patterns. Areas once stable become sensitive and unpredictable due to uneven subsurface pressure. People ask whether each attempt to control nature creates new unpredictable dangerous risks. Are we adapting to nature or moving deeper into a gamble we cannot win? A new plan appears, focusing on spreading pressure instead of endless reinforcement alone. Planners consider limiting growth in high-stress zones and restoring natural open spaces. Concrete-heavy areas may return to soil and vegetation so nature can regulate pressure. New technologies also emerge with flexible foundations and adaptive bio-inspired materials. These ideas help buildings move with the earth instead of resisting every shaking force. Some governments discuss slow relocation, reducing population density in dangerous regions. This is not retreat but a gradual adjustment, avoiding sudden social shock or fear. These ideas create hope but still carry risks because nature remains unpredictable. Moving pressure away from one zone may increase pressure somewhere completely unexpected. New materials lack enough real-world testing to guarantee performance during extreme events. Solutions become experiments supported by science but uncertain under maximum natural stress. People stand between hope and doubt, questioning whether solutions truly calm the threat. San Andreas is no longer only about deep cracks but about control illusions today. Humans calculate, reinforce and predict, but the Earth moves freely without human influence. The more trust we place in safety, the more people expand into dangerous zones. The more solidly we build, the more hidden pressure grows in unpredictable patterns. Adaptation talk makes people forget that some forces cannot be fully controlled forever. San Andreas remains silent, but that silence makes questions heavier for everyone living. Are today's actions real preparation or only a way to extend temporary feelings of safety? Cities grow and children live on land clearly marked as high risk for decades. Technology improves but sometimes hides fear behind stronger structures and detailed plans. Who decides acceptable risk and who pays if the delicate balance finally collapses? When the ground eventually moves, will these efforts be remembered as wisdom or gamble? Humanity must face the limits of control when the Earth decides to speak again.